It wasn't until January, February of 1860 that the town of Breckenridge sprang up. Now, the first gold strike on Colorado's western slope was made along the Blue River. The first town on Colorado's western slope was Breckenridge. The town of Breckenridge erupted into being. It was built so quickly, and it emerged by spring of 1860 as a viable town. The news had been broadcast throughout not only the Omaha and the Fort Leavenworth and the frontier towns. That was the end of civilization in the U.S., those border towns. This part of the country was Utah Territory and Kansas Territory, not even part of the U.S. as a state. Miners flowed across the Great Plains, crossed the Continental Divide, which they called the Snowy Range for very good reason, and dropped into the Valley of the Blue. So there was the town of Breckenridge, just burgeoning and mushrooming with growth, at a horde of prospectors, up to 100 to 200 flowing in every day. They crossed Tarryall Pass in May of 1859 and discovered gold on the Blue River, glittering in the sands and flashing in the creek beds, and an untold amount of gold lacing the mountains, intertwined in lodes and veins, and their cry of Eureka rang against the walls of the Continental Divide and caused a horde of prospectors to scramble over that same pass, and then others like today's Boreas Pass, and enter the Blue River Valley. So before this first recorded gold strike, we have August 10th of 1859, the Blue Valley was already humming, and it was called Miners' District. And interestingly enough, the very first skiing in Colorado took place in Breckenridge. During that winter, after those summer of 1859 gold strikes, the miners built what they called Fort Mary B. They were afraid of the Ute Indians, who turned out to be peaceful, accommodating, and friendly. But they built a fort, 100 square foot green log fort, and wintered over. Just a handful, about 29 or so did. And during that time, they became utterly and hopelessly bored over the winter. There wasn't much going on, and the snow was up to their clavicle. So two Norwegians, and it always takes a Norwegian when it comes to skiing, two Norwegians, bored to tears, cut down a spruce tree, fashioned spruce boards, steamed and turned up the tips, cut up leather to make long thong bindings, and struck off in February of 1860 into Gold Run Gulch. There, under 8 feet of snow, Balse and Christian Weaver, the two Norwegians on their skis, dug through the snow, and through under 8 feet of snow discovered gold. That gulch turned out multiplied millions of dollars over future years, and they themselves took out, I believe, 9 pounds of gold from their first summer in Gold Run Gulch.